I strapped a vibrator to my brake pedal and gained 600 ELO. 10 out of 10 product, must buy, end of review, super easy, right? Well, actually, there's a little bit more to it. Sure, when Simagic's P2000 pedals were initially getting reviewed, they got a lot of praise, especially for the haptic motor and the brake pedal. Now, I just got very nice pedals and I'm not gonna upgrade just for vibes. The first few laps with the haptic motor were really eye-opening. I didn't know my braking in ACC was so bad. Trying to not make the brake pedal go meant I was spinning out on basically every corner. Now I knew my braking technique was bad, but the haptic motors really rubbed it in. In racing, a lot of time is either lost or gained under braking. It's not just about braking in a straight line as hard and as late as you can get away with, it's actually about how you transition from that straight line braking into corner entry and trail braking, and of course with high downforce cars like GT3's formula cars, how you let off pressure from the brake pedal as your speed slows down. Now during the transition from straight line braking into corner entry, you may lock up the ABS, which will just have you understeering straight off track. You may have a car without ABS, in which case if you lock up the front, you'll just understeer straight off the track. The key is in making sure you have enough brake pressure to get weight on the front axle and rotate the car without, of course, having the rear brake out or without locking up the fronts. Now I hear you say already, Lawrence, I have a light on my wheel, even on my virtual dashboard in the car in the game, that shows a little flashing light whenever I'm activating the ABS. And I too have that light on my wheel and on my virtual dashboard whenever I'm activating the ABS. The thing is, there's only so much information your brain can deal with. You're looking at your shift lights, your RPM, your opponents, your reference markers for braking, turning, acceleration, that sort of stuff, maybe even flags from the marshals on track. Your brain really has limited capacity for taking all that visual information and turning it into some sort of mental model of what the physics of the car are actually doing. By having that ABS active information come from another channel almost, by having it through your left foot or your right foot depending on the car you're driving, to me personally, it really helped me deal with more information coming into my brain and processing it more efficiently. To be honest though, it did take me quite a while to get used to this. I used to have a little vibration motor on my brake pedal just to know when I was locking up, but this is a completely whole new sensation, a lot more information coming in, and yeah, it takes time for your brain to get used to it. However, that said, the numbers don't lie. I personally feel like it's really helping me get faster, and more importantly, it's helping me get more consistent lap times. So it took me about, I'd say, an hour to get used to this, and mostly I'm okay with being in the ABS in a GT3 car in straight line braking, and even on corner entry a little bit you can actually purposely activate the ABS to get a bit of understeer to prevent the rear from coming round on you. And so that took me, I'd say, an hour to a week, maybe even a month before I'm really making the most of this, and I feel like I'm still learning a lot. I'm constantly trying to improve and learn from the information that's coming in, be it through my ears, be it through the pedals or through the force feedback in the wheel. Now settings wise, I'm not using Simagic's software, I'm using SimHub with 100% strength on the motor. I'm running it at 10 Hz, which is as low as it can go with an 80 millisecond pulse duration. I'm either using ABS active or wheel lock depending on the car, depending on the game as well, but I seem to have more success with ABS active as it's like faster somehow than wheel lock, so that's what I use most of the time. So then, what does the Simagic P-HPR haptic feedback compare like to real life? Well, it's not even close for starters. In a car with ABS, sure, you have that like hammering of the brake pedal as you lock up the ABS or as you trigger the ABS, for example, but I feel like it's way more violent in a real car, and also even lower frequency than the 10 Hz we get. Maybe that's just car dependent, and my car just has like a 5 or 8 Hz ABS system. Newer cars probably have better, more advanced ABS, but I feel like it's mostly the force that this motor can deliver is like half strength of what you get in a real life car. When it comes to cars that don't have ABS in real life, there is no knocking of your brake pedal. All that really happens is the car goes straight. Your ears can feel that you're no longer decelerating as much or turning in because the wheel locks up in the front, and you just go in a straight line. With rear locking, it's basically the same thing. It's again your ears just saying, okay, we're rotating more than we should be rotating. So does that mean that I think the P-HPR is useless? Well, absolutely not. I think it's great to get more information, again, because your eyes can only do so much, and they're already doing 90% of the work in sim racing, and maybe 10% is the wheel. I would definitely recommend you to get this if you can afford it. because that's the not so great part. It's the cost. You're not just buying the motor if you're not running Simagic's P2000 pedals already. You have to get the control board, you have to get a power supply. And so just one motor is 160 euros plus shipping. If you don't have your own 3D printer or your own modeling capacity, now you're looking at buying an adapter or a bracket from someone. If you don't already have a proper SimHub license, you'll have to add a SimHub license to the cost as well. So let's say it's 200 euros for one brake pedal and about 350 to 400 euros for all three brake pedals to be equipped with the HPR. Now there is the opportunity to save a little bit of money by going with some random audio amplifier and using that together with SimHub. And of course the cables are too short, so you'll have to get custom adapter extension cable sort of stuff if you go that route. But you can probably do it on a budget. I just wanted the whole experience, especially because I'm making a video review, and therefore I bought the whole set. Now I am thinking about getting a second motor to just add to the throttle pedal as well, although I don't really know if that's going to be especially useless. I don't really see how a throttle pedal would ever vibrate in real life, but maybe your brain eventually gets used to the link of throttle pedal vibrate equals oversteer or TC active, for example. Overall conclusion then, I'm very happy with these. I gained ELO. I think I'm a faster, more consistent driver because of these. The difference is probably like 1 or maybe 0.2 a lap, which is nothing, but it's definitely something once you get to like the higher ELOs. If you can be ever so slightly more consistent, you are going to gain a lot from that. So from that point of view, I'm very happy with this haptic motor for my pedals. Now, I would prefer it to be even more powerful, especially when you're fighting the wheel, like a very heavy, strong wheel, and there's so much noise going on and visual stuff going on. Sometimes you no longer feel the brake pedal. So it could be a lot stronger, I think personally. But other than that, I am very happy with this. It looks good, it works well, even without using Simagic software, just using SimHub. Very happy with it, would recommend it if you can justify spending 160 to 200 euros on just one pedal. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.